Meanwhile, it was a record-setting debut for one Cam Newton for the Panthers. Who needs mini camps and organized team activities? He rewrote the record book. Plus, if week one is any indication, life without Peyton for the Colts is going to make for a very long season. NFL Primetime, that and more. Come on!
Welcome to NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
Hi, everybody, and welcome into the Week 1 edition of NFL Primetime. Glad you are here with us. Trey Wiggum alongside my long-standing partner, Merrill Hodge.
Hello, my
friend. And delighted to have Tim Hasselback with us for this
Welcome,
season.
Big brother. Would leave me hanging?
I was.
Big, little, either way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's got a big brother who's playing, and we'll deal with that a little bit later.
We're going to break him down.
Meanwhile, I got a doubleheader of Monday Night Football to start the season for you. The first game, the Patriots and the Dolphins. The last time these two teams played in Miami, it was a blowout for the Patriots. It was also Randy Moss's last game ever as a New England Patriot for now. So let's get team reports on what to expect, and let's go down to Miami where we find our Wendy Nix. Wendy, last time these two played in Miami on Monday night, all the big plays were for the Patriots. How do the Dolphins try and get some of them tonight for their own team?
Trey, it's a whole new world for this Miami offense. Just ask them. That's what the Dolphins will tell you. And to that end, they did hire a new offensive coordinator, Brian Dable, who's been charged with coming up what they call a creative, aggressive offense. No more low-risk play calling, says head coach Tony Sperano. In fact, they're asking Chad Henne to do more than he's ever done before. He says he likes it and he's ready, but something will have to give because that stands in direct conflict to what the Patriots tried to do in the offseason, and that is shore up a defense that was 30th against the pass. Bill Belichick went shopping. He came away with the likes of Sean Ellis, Andre Carter, Albert Haynesworth, all of whom he calls smart and extremely physical, and that's what he says he'll ask of them tonight as they try and stop some of those big plays Miami wants to create. Trey?
All right, Wendy, thanks so much. So if they're going to get those big plays, they're going to have to exploit, Merrill, some weaknesses on the New England Patriots, which they didn't see last year in the two meetings, or we didn't see much of in the preseason. What are those weaknesses they can try and take advantage of?
Well, the first thing that you got to look at, when you look at Haynesworth and Will Fork, I mean, that's almost 700 pounds in the middle.
Probably
and
over.
When you look at Reggie Bush, if you're going to say, listen, I'm going to line up Reggie Bush, we're going to run out you all day, it's not going to work. So how do you make their strength a weakness? Take Reggie Bush, play him on the perimeter. Make those big guys chase him. Get the ball on the other side of the line of scrimmage, rather it's a screen or check downs. Here's an example in the preseason. He's going to chip as he leaves, but now he's on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now look what's happened. Those big guys are trying to run at you. Now they're chasing you. That's what you want to see early in this game. Wolford, Haynesworth, those big guys chasing. Reggie Bush on the perimeter. Oh, I got to go get him. Big guy chasing Reggie Bush out of his element. Detroit did this a little bit as they really got after the Patriots. Run a screenplay. Look what happens to Wilfork. Haynesworth is not here, but you did not want Wilfork to be running down the field like this and playing on the perimeter. Here's what I expect in this game, and you can watch for it. Reggie Bush playing on the perimeter with screens, those kind of things. Let those big guys run sideline to sideline for the first two quarters, because you know what's going to happen in the next three, the third and fourth quarter?
They'll be a little tired.
Yeah, I'm tired, Coach. It's not the same.
Especially in the heat and humidity, even though the game is being played at night in South Florida. Okay, if that's the idea for the Miami Dolphins, what's the idea for the New England Patriots here? What weapon, what one player do you really see as having a big game here?
Oh, it's Aaron Hernandez. You really look at Aaron Hernandez. He's the guy that creates the biggest matchup problem when you're looking at the New England Patriots on offense. They use him as a tight end, but they move him all around the field, and it's identifying where he is and what personnel group they're using him in. Look at this, 3 tight ends, but Aaron Hernandez at the bottom of your screen, an inline tight end. You think maybe Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis in the run game? No, it's the vertical passing game on a seam pattern to Aaron Hernandez, and Tom Brady finds him. Now look at him, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, but virtually 4 wide receivers with the way he's able to run routes. You get Aaron Hernandez lined up on a linebacker, and look at the separation. You get that type of separation for Tom Brady, he's going to complete that pass. So for me, Aaron Hernandez is really that wild card for that offense, creates the biggest mismatches.
And of course, Hernandez played his college ball in Florida, so I'm sure he's happy to go back there and try and show off a little.
So he'll be ready.
By the way, the Patriots have won 7 straight season openers, and the 2 meetings last year between these two, they outscored the Dolphins 79 to 21. That's just one of two games
gotta
coming up
change,
tonight.
right?
Yes, I agree, if you're a Dolphins fan. Second game, what to watch for, Raiders-Broncos. Jason Campbell went 7-5 in his first season in Oakland as the starter, led the Raiders to their first non-losing season in 2002. Counterpart in Denver, Kyle Orton will get the start for the Broncos, 21-9 at home in his starting career at home. So, Tim, what about Jason Campbell?
Well, when Jason Campbell is in rhythm, he's accurate and he makes good decisions. And Hugh Jackson, now the head coach, was the offensive coordinator a year ago. He really helped the development of Jason Campbell by keeping him in rhythm. If they can do that, keep things simple for Campbell, keep him in rhythm, you'll avoid some of the bad plays, the sacks, because he's holding on to the football and not taking care of it in terms of the ball security, or the decisions outside the pocket that have always plagued Campbell. Keep him in rhythm, he'll make good decisions, and he'll help that offense.
And for you? Well, Von Miller?
I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball because we don't give them enough time. There's a rookie named Von Miller for the Denver Broncos. When I put him on tape throughout the preseason and watched him, his body language reminded me of a guy who used to wear 56 that I have prepared to play against, and that's Lawrence Taylor for the New York Giants.
Lawrence?
High praise early on.
When that is the first reflection I get of somebody, I want to stay with that because that is truly what I felt watching him, is his ability to get after the quarterback, the ways that he can do it, playing with his hand in the ground, standing up, in coverage, the discipline of helping his defense. Here's where he is at three-point stance. Three-step drop. Quarterback should have been gone. Look at that athleticism. Quarterback makes a mistake, holds it too long. Down goes Frazier. Now in a two-point stance. Comes around the corner, dips his shoulder, disrupts the passing game again. And it's not just about his individual ways of getting after the quarterback, but his understanding of how you help a defense. I got to close the corner down for my stacked backer to get clean there. Understanding that concept. He didn't even look like a rookie. His body movement and his language, his athleticism, reminded me of Lawrence Taylor. When I watched tape getting ready for Lawrence Taylor, this is what it reminded me of. Cat quick, smart. I mean, he's just a rookie, too. If you watch him, you say, this guy's been playing for years and years. I believe he has that ability to impact a game in the way Lawrence Taylor did. And then eventually you'll have to say, listen, this guy we have to take care of. That means tackle, back, tight end. I need three guys to help me.
So, in other words, before he's ever played a regular season game in the NFL, you've channeled Lawrence Taylor, George Foreman, and Howard Cosell in talking about Von Miller. Good luck. I mean, you might as well do well now, Von Miller.
You'll be all right,
We'll
Von.
see what happens. He's just getting lathered up. We're just getting warmed up here on NFL Primetime. When we continue, the Cowboys are still saying this morning, how did we lose that game to Rex and the Jets Sunday night? Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, well, let's just say all streaks come to an end, and Baltimore made sure this one came to a crashing conclusion. And the best way to describe the Dream Team's 2011 debut? Perhaps sloppy, but successful.
NFL Primetime is presented by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go. And in part by Verizon. Power your business with Verizon 4G LTE, the fastest, most advanced 4G network in America.
There's only one rugby website that's in the thick of it, with big stories, highlights, news and views. espnscrum.com. Total rugby guaranteed.
Look out! We're catching, folks.
Patrick Peterson, cornerback, LSU.
You have Deion Sanders out there to catch him.
Utilizing state-of-the-art eye-tracking technology, we'll analyze how effectively Peterson reads a quarterback's cues and reacts to defend either a pass or a run.
Being hooked up to all these gadgets, and I pretty much feel like a machine right now.
3, 2, 1, go! The average NFL QB's release time is roughly 0.4 of a second. And a pass that travels 20 yards through the air at 35 miles per hour takes just over 1 second to reach its target. This means that based on his reaction time, ability to change direction, and acceleration, if he's within 15 feet of the receiver, when the QB releases a pass that travels 20 yards through the air, Peterson can get a hand on the ball every time. For ESPN Sports Science, I'm John Brankus.
It's something you don't see often.
Everybody taking a big, deep breath right now.
Two starters making history in the same week. Verlander did it before. It's a first for Liriano.
Line drive, no-hitter.
Two no-hitters in a week.
The second no-hitter.
It's dominating performances like these that keep me coming back for more.
Catch Major League Baseball all season long on ESPN America.
College football lives here. Coverage starts with College Game Day, Saturday at 1500 CET, live on ESPN America.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
As we continue here on NFL Primetime, Trey Wingo here with Merrill Hodge and Tim Hasselback. The Sunday night game to wrap up the full first slate of Sunday games. Dallas Cowboys with new defensive coordinator Rob Ryan taking on the Jets, and head coach Rex Ryan, his twin brother. So it wasn't about who was the better team, but who really had the better Ryan. And obviously, outside of New York, commemoration with the large American flag. Commissioner Roger Goodell there on hand to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the terrorist attacks at 9/11. Okay, Cowboys had the lead for most of this game. Third quarter, they're up 10-7. You got to win at the most crucial point, and there it is. Miles Austin out battling Cromartie for the ball, ruled a touchdown. Unbelievable effort.
Yeah, look at it. Austin go up and fight for the football. Cromartie actually has it in his possession. Ty's going to go to the offensive player, and Miles Austin able to wrestle it away.
Yeah, Cromartie upset. Dennis Thurman, former Cowboy, saying catch it this way, and it's a pick, not the other way. All right, later in the third, Jets down 17-10. Mark Sanchez over the middle where he finds Sean Lee, the Cowboys backer. Had a couple of picks like this last year. Is he going to the house? Because if he is, it's huge fantasy points for your defense if you have him. But no, he's taken out at the one upon replay. Another critical mistake, though, by Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez obviously looking to the left. Sean Lee starts over the right, works back into his progression, but Sanchez never sees him. And then the cunningness, the beautiful run, and the Cowboys are loving it like we're going to win.
2 plays later, they're up 24-10. Plaxico Burress making his Jets debut. Oh, big hit there after carrying out the American flag on Mike Jenkins, who left this game a couple of times. Later in the fourth, 3rd and 3 at the Dallas 26. That is the definition of back shoulder fade. Touchdown. It's a 7-point game.
Yeah, and if you're going to make this throw to Plaxico Burress, face mask or higher, back shoulder, and you can't defend it. Look at the position of the cornerback. It doesn't matter when it's high in a way like that for Plaxico.
Jets won the game, but the Cowboys certainly contributed. A long Jason Witten play where he was pushed out by Jim Leonard, got him down there close, and on 3rd and goal, just take a sack, throw it away, don't dive and fumble. So instead of sure 3 points, this happened.
Well, the most important thing is ball security. Look how far that ball is out on the ground. You know you're not going to score. You don't want to take a shot. Get 2 hands on the ball and get down. 3 points makes it a 10-point lead.
A 2-possession game. Instead, they get nothing. Then after an exchange of punts, Joe McKnight comes in and blocks it, and the brother of Marcus Trufant, Isaiah Trufant, returns it for the touchdown.
To me, this is also an example of studying tape. Your up backs up way too close. I know the guard of that side makes a mistake because you protect inside out. Grave mental error for the Dallas Cowboys.
Rex Ryan is fired up. It wasn't the last grave mental error. After another punt, first play, they have a chance to win it with under a minute to go, and it's picked off by Darrelle Revis. Where was this throw going, Tim?
I have no idea. I still don't understand where it's going. And Revis underneath, safety over the top, and obviously Tony Romo knows big mistake and a crucial point.
Plus, at that point in the game, Des Bryant was limping. He couldn't even run. So with 32 seconds left, former Pro Bowl kicker for the Cowboys, Nick Folk, bang, from 50 yards, and it's good. Folk is fired up. Rex is fired up. The Jets come back to win 27-24. Tony Romo after the game. They said what happened. He said, I cost us this game. And Tim, it was funny because during the broadcast, they were talking about how Tony Romo had said, I don't want to make those big mistakes anymore. Everything worked for Tony except for 2 critical plays with under 9 minutes to play. The fumble, where you got to have points, and then the interception late. and it was just a gift that the Jets were happy to take.
And that's why it doesn't matter how well Tony Romo played in the first half. When you look at the second half, especially in the fourth quarter, the two inexcusable mistakes that he makes that ultimately end up costing his team the football game. Look at the situation. 3rd and goal, about 9 minutes left in the game. Okay? Play breaks down. Now, you're up 7 points. Take a sack. That's the best thing that could happen. Maybe throw it away, but what you can't do is you can't turn the football over. Now, this one I still have no answer for. You have a minute left, a timeout, and when you look at this, there's no explanation for Tony Romo to throw this football. It is 2-man coverage. What I mean by that? Man underneath in the trail position, safety's up over the top. Look at this. Play breaks down again. Revis is underneath. Safety's over the top. You have absolutely no business throwing this football to Des Bryant, and it's right into the hands of Darrelle Revis. And I know when I watched that video there that, sure, Bryant probably made a mistake, ran the wrong route, wasn't running full speed, but as a quarterback, that doesn't give you the license to make the situation worse, which is exactly what Tony Romo did in that situation.
You know what's interesting about the game of football? No matter how long you play, your career will be defined by a few plays, no matter when they happen. And it's usually, though, in critical moments, in critical games. When you look at Tony Romo in his 6th career start, 6 years starting, when you look at those moments where he's had opportunities, the pendulum is weighing towards he doesn't respond very well. He doesn't make those plays. That is kind of the image that he has right now. To switch that, it's going to take several years to switch that and critical games and more than likely playoff wins in order for that to switch. And when you look at a player who struggles like that, it's usually just the management of himself. Is it coaching? People want to play him coaching. He's been taught all those things. It's understanding when you're up by 7. Where are we in the game? What is most important here? Or when it's tied and we're down and our defense is playing great, what should I do that's the best thing for my game? I understand you want to make a play. I understand you want to score touchdowns, but it's the best to manage yourself and understand how can we win?
You make a great point, though. It's about knowing the situation. And most of the time you think, this is Tony Romo. It's a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. Do I have to remind him when we're up 7, 9 minutes left in the red zone, hey, a sack might be the best play? Guess what? Maybe you do have to remind him. Maybe you just can't assume that he knows the right thing to do.
Well, this is nothing new for Cowboy fans. Go back to the Sunday night game to start last year in Washington. He threw that inexplicable screen pass. They tried to make something out of nothing right before the half. Washington gets a touchdown. They were really being dominated up to that point. They get right back into the game, and they went on to lose that game. Well, Cowboys try to get it going next week when they go to San Francisco. Jets play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Lots more coming here on NFL Primetime. There was a lot of talk from the Steelers that maybe Joe Flacco would never beat them as long as he was their quarterback. That's out the board week 1. Plus, life without Peyton. Off to a very rough start for the Indianapolis Colts.
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. Get ready for some football with a Monday Night Double Dip. First, Brady and the Patriots head south to take on Jake Long and the Dolphins. Then, Jason Campbell and the Raiders head to the Mile High City to battle the Broncos. It all starts tonight at 2300 CET with Monday Night Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
The pageantry of Super Bowl 35 was larger than life.
Something else, huh? How cool is this?
The Baltimore Ravens took an early lead over the New York Giants with a Trent Dilfer touchdown pass to Brandon Stokely.
Throwing deep down the middle for Stokely. He's got it. 10-5. Touchdown. Brandon Stokely for the score.
Super Bowl MVP Ray Lewis led a Ravens defense that intercepted Giants quarterback Kerry Collins 4 times.
Slant over the middle, picked up by Dwayne Starks. He's got a touchdown. Touchdown to Dwayne Starks. And the best defense in the business is showing the world why. Yeah, baby!
With a 34-7 win, the Ravens captured their first Super Bowl victory in franchise history.
Well, I always wanted to be a star, didn't I? Now I get to be a star every day on my helmet, you know?
Sanders to the 25, Sanders to the 10, 68 yards, he did it again.
Deion Sanders dancing. He's looking backwards from about the 40-yard line. Oh, is he going to do a number on the crowd here?
I got one thing to say. This is my house. And in my dormitory room at Florida State, I created this image, this thing that you could imagine. You could love him or hate him, but he was pride. I like him, but something's missing.
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Wendy Nix in Miami with the team report. There'll be a new look for the Dolphins running back core when they take the field tonight. Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown are out. Enter Reggie Bush, Dolphins draft pick Daniel Thomas, and the return of Larry Johnson. Thomas remains questionable for tonight's game with a hamstring injury, but either way, head coach Tony Sparano says his goal for Bush is around 20 touches. An ideal scenario, 15 rushes, 5 catches. The role of Johnson will likely depend on the availability of Thomas.
Primetime rolls on with a great divisional matchup week 1. Steelers and the Ravens in Baltimore. Ray Rice and company knowing that Ben has beaten them 7 straight times, including the playoffs. So you know what they're going to get right away? A heavy dose of Ray Rice. First play from scrimmage and get going. A 36-yard gain. Merrill, they took it right to the Steelers.
Every team talks about set the tempo. Let me tell you this. When they set the tempo on that first place, they became the dictators in this game.
Another one there for 13 yards. If he's not going to run it, why don't you let him catch it? Get in there, Ray Rice. Just like that. And the Ravens go up 21-7. Steelers had all kinds of issues holding on to the ball and blocking for Ben Roethlisberger. Terrell Suggs just rocks him. Haloti Ngata comes up and gobbles up the football. Boy, there was all kinds of protection issues there.
This is not difficult either.
Now, you look at this, too. Rarely do you see Ben Roethlisberger get hit like this. You see Ngata on pounce. He holds him. Suggs coming up on the twist. Gets the hit on Ben and gets the ball out.
But that wasn't even the best. Look at that one by, you say goodbye, I say Haloti, and the Steelers got nada as Rashard Mendenhall fumbled it.
Rashard has no shot there. No shot. I mean, Haloti Ngata, maybe the best defensive lineman in all of football. Clean at you?
Yeah, that's not what you're looking for.
You're lucky that your body parts are still attached.
Now, they're down 22 here, and this tip ball is picked off by Ray Lewis. Have I mentioned Haloti Ngata was everywhere? Like here again? Running, and Ben just sort of throws this one up. Ed Reed, the ultimate ball hawk, is there. But look at this other play as we see Hines Ward and Jarrett Johnson. Bang! That's normally Hines Ward delivering that kind
Listen, Merrill talked about that offensive line setting the tone physically. How about that front for the Baltimore Ravens on defense?
Unbelievable. Ben flushed out of the pocket again. Normally that's when he's at his best, but not today. Reed, not once, but twice. A 35-7 smackdown as the Ravens take care of Ben and the Steelers, ending that 7-game winning streak that Ben had when he started against the Baltimore Ravens. 7-game winning streak is over. 7 points and 7 turnovers, Merrill, for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
But I think it was most shocking defensively when you looked at when you line up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The thing that makes them so awesome is they're the most violent front seven in all of football. They're constantly on the other side of the line of scrimmage. They don't get blocked. They get off blocks. Once they dictate and take away your running game, they dictate to you. When the Baltimore Ravens came out and ran that first play, it was clear that the Ravens were going to start dictating. Off the left side, from this angle, it's very hard to see the blocking, so we're going to get a different angle. But when I start giving you the names that they ran at, you would think, oh my gosh, look at the tight end. He blocks through Harrison, and he's going to pick up Troy Polamalu. That means the fullback will finish on Harrison. Beautiful job of getting both guys secured. You got a steal here and a steal there, and you already got an alley for Ray Rice. Let's back it up. Look at now your tackle, McKinney. He comes off the ball. Beautiful double. Now he's up on Ferrier. You have a steal here and a steal here again, and you got Brett Kiesel, who is down on the ground. All the defensive linemen are on the ground. All the linebackers are blocked. Troy Polamalu, the most dynamic defensive player in football, he's blocked, and nobody's getting off it. It wasn't just one play. It was the entire game. It was very consistent. And once a team can run on you, especially the Ravens, now they dictate. Because it's usually the opposite from that very starting play, then the Ravens could do whatever they wanted, run or pass.
And you know how else that run game helps? It helps the quarterback. And that's exactly what happened for Joe Flacco.
We're your best friend.
We know, yeah, you know it. But listen, you talk about that pass rush of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, it's hard to get to a quarterback who's getting through his progression and getting the football out. And that's exactly what Joe Flacco did. Joe Flacco is known as a guy who can push the ball down the field. We all know about his big arm. But what impressed me the most was the way he was moving his feet, the way he was getting through his progression and accurately getting the ball out. As we look at this touchdown pass to Ray Rice again from the All-22, you get to see his eyes start at the top to the three-receiver set. He then works his way back to find Ray Rice on the little arrow route. Now watch Flacco. He really gets fooled, pumps it, but then look how quickly this big quarterback gets his feet reset to shoot it out to the left, a difficult throw, and then the accuracy of the throw allows Ray Rice to catch that football and then turn upfield to fall into the end zone. That's a big point of that there on a third down in the red zone.
17 to 29, 224 yards, and of course 3 scores as well. Steelers have their string of 8 straight season openers snapped. They go home for the Seahawks next week. I would imagine Mike Tomlin might have that team a little fired up at Heinz Field. All right, Vikings-Chargers. Everybody's thinking the Chargers, all their problems are behind them as they get set to kick off. You know, their special teams last year were they were horrendous, but they got the new special teams coach, Rich Bisaccia, there. He's one of the best. They won't have any of the problems they had a year ago. Here's your opening kickoff to Percy Harvin. There's good coverage. Lots of Chargers there, except that none of them decide to actually tackle Percy Harvin. Deja vu, that sinking feeling you've done this before. 2011 starting off a lot like 2010 as Harvin takes it to the house. And that's not even the worst part. Nate Kading, serious knee injury. You've got to be kidding me. And then Adrian Peterson with the Chargers up 10-7. Merrill, he is a runner.
Man, watch this run. That play right there where his leg's being grabbed, the power that he has. Watch this. Look at this left leg. Look how strong and powerful Adrian Peterson is. His athleticism, his speed, his quickness, his agility.
Oh, that led to a touchdown to put the Vikings up 17-7. Mike Tolbert, though, doing his best. Adrian Peterson, look at him bounce off tackle.
He's
this
pretty
guy's so
powerful
underrated.
himself, yeah.
So underrated. I'd get the ball in his hands even more if I was San Diego.
You mean like this when they're tied at 17? And look at the job Rivers does here, Tim.
Look at Phillip Rivers getting outside the pocket and then drawing the defense to him so he can get that big back, the ball in space to fall into the end zone.
Chargers up 24-17. Tolbert, 3 touchdowns, 93 yards. Donovan McNabb's Minnesota debut. No. Low for Bernard Berrien. Later, Vikings with a 3rd and 10. McNabb, pressure, and that one's got to be ditched at the feet of somebody. Vikings forced to punt. 4th quarter, 3rd and 8. And that is no good. Underthrows Berrien again. And then at 4 minutes left in the 4th, another 3rd and 10, and Antoine Barnes says you will go down and go down hard. 39 passing yards for Donovan McNabb. The Chargers, rough start, but they find a way to win a September game. That might be a really good thing for them. When we continue, Michael Vick and the Eagles, an injury-plagued game against the St. Louis Rams. What did we learn, if anything, about those free-spending Eagles from the offseason? Plus, apparently in Chicago, the Atlanta Falcons were still in preseason mode.
Wednesday Night Baseball, live on ESPN America. The Monster Sluggers of the AL Central have it all to play for, as Paul Konerko and the Chi Sox hope to tame Cabrera and the Tigers. Tigers at White Sox, Wednesday at 2000 CET, live on ESPN America.
In Super Bowl 20, the unstoppable Chicago Bears met the AFC wildcard New England Patriots. Following an early turnover by Chicago, New England would be the first to score, but the Patriots were then forced to watch their fragile lead get blown away in a record-breaking tidal wave of points. Jim McMahon and his solid offense marched over the Patriot defense for 408 yards, 3 field goals, and 4 touchdowns. Led by MVP Richard Dent, the Bears' league-leading defense registered 7 sacks and limited the Patriots to a meager 7 rushing yards, enabling Chicago to walk off with a decisive win.
Don't miss College Football Live all season on ESPN America.
Quick pass is deflected by Kerrigan, intercepted by Kerrigan, and he's going to take it in for a touchdown. The rookie does it.
Breaks one man to the 50, to the 40. Ginn trots in the field to the 30. Still going 20. Ginn does it again.
Romo rolling right, throws right sideline. Intercepted, picked off by Revis. Revis does it.
Primetime rolls on with the Eagles and the Rams. High expectations for both of these teams heading into the season. Michael Vick and company a little shaky in the preseason. Let's see how they worked out here week one. Third quarter, Eagles 2nd and 17. Vick, well, we know he can do this. Rolling, running, scrambling, and getting a first down on a 2nd and 17. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive. This guy covers so much ground because he's so fast, and he also has that threat to throw the football, and so you can't leave your man. And then when this happens, it's basically like a punt return for Michael Vick. All that open field to deal with. Does a nice job of getting out of bounds also.
Later on that drive, 2nd and goal from the 6. Vick, listen, that's a left-handed quarterback. That throw is unbelievable.
That's a sick throw by Vick.
Yeah. Vick, sick, 24-10. Oh, yeah, let's do that. And Deshaun Jackson's doing this. And fourth quarter, LaShawn McCoy and Shady will put this one away up 24-13, 49 yards to the house. That wasn't an alley. That was more like a highway.
But there was definitely a seal here and a seal there. And the Grand Canyon right there, you get movement. I love getting flow. If you're going to get flow, then you got to squeeze it on the backside. The second you get cut off, you got a situation.
Yeah, the Red Sea was parted for McCoy there that put him up 31-13. As for Steven Jackson, listen, when he played, he was great. This was the Rams' first play from scrimmage. Goodbye. But right there, you see him pull up a little lame. He pulled his quad, came back for only one more carry, tried to get it going loose on the bike, never happened. Meanwhile, Sam Bradford, another injury problem for them. Sam looking, making this throw, and it's a nice grab by Brandon Gibbs. But as you'll see on the replay, with the locker room x-rays on his finger, he did not return. The Eagles went on to win this one 31-13. So if you're the Eagles, hey, we go on the road, we play a team that's supposed to be pretty good in their own place, and we come out with a double-digit win, 31-13. That's the good news. But as you watch the way they played, what concerned you?
What concerned me the most was that Michael Vick looked like Michael Vick from Atlanta, not the Michael Vick that we saw last year. Sure, we saw some of the wow plays, some of the great scrambles, even saw a couple of highlight reel throws, but it was the stuff he didn't see that bothered me. You look at this here, down in the red zone. Both safeties are coming. This is a blitz zero look, okay? You have no answer for the safety at the bottom of your screen. Everybody else is used up in protection. That is the quarterback's responsibility. Michael Vick has absolutely no idea that Quentin Michael is coming through unblocked, and he hits him in the back of the head and loses the football. You can't let that happen. We're talking about Michael Vick being able to play 16 games. There's no shot you're going to play 16 games if you don't see that type of pressure coming.
Another thing that they got to be concerned about, especially when they look at their division on the defensive side. I mean, Steven Jackson, thank goodness for the Eagles that he got hurt, because that was going to be a problem for them all day. You know, that very big up front, the front seven is very athletic. They are very little, and they get pushed around. When you get no movement and you get your linebackers, they're not even down around the line of scrimmage, it is going to be difficult to stop the run. And the reason this is a concern, you look at the Giants. Giants are going to do this. Washington's going to do this. The Cowboys, I'm not sure what they're going to do. I don't know if they've completely committed to it, but within the division, it's going to be a problem. If teams are able to run the football like this and score touchdowns and get big points, it is going to be very difficult to play good defense that way. You know, you're going to have big leads and be able to play like that, but that's not going to happen. To win it all, that's going to have to get better for the Eagles.
154 rushing yards, and Steven Jackson only had 2 carries. Cadillac Williams, 91 yards, averaged just under 5 yards a carry. Eagles next play the Atlanta Falcons. Speaking of the Falcons, #1 seed in the NFC last year, lost their first playoff game at home. Jay Cutler, his first game back at Soldier Field since, well, you know, the NFC Championship game and all that stuff. Cutler, short pass to Matt Forte. They're still trying to figure out whether or not to give him that contract extension. Exhibit A as to why you should give him the contract extension. 56 yards for the touchdown. Bears up 10-3. Great job by Forte.
Yeah, not only Forte, but Mike Martz of calling this play at a time where the offensive line was struggling, and Jay Cutler was taking a lot of hits.
158 total yards for Forte, and then Cutler, another little one of those bubble screens and passes to Devin Hester. He's still ridiculous. He's still very fast. It's out at the 1. After a 53-yard gain, Cutler was solid, 22 of 32. 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. How about that Bears defense? A lot of people thinking, well, you know, they're good, but they're a little old. They're not as good as they. Oh, Brian Urlacher, old this. Look at him lay out, and then watch this one again.
You look at Brian Urlacher, really initially goes with the run fake, but the way he's able to recover and then make a play on the football, absolutely outstanding.
Now, we saw this a couple of times. Sam Bradford also did this, tried to put the ball down to get his balance. That's not what you're looking for. Peppers is there, and Urlacher scoops it up, gobble, gobble, pick. Had the fumble return, also had 10 tackles. Other than that, he didn't do much. But great job by Peppers beating Sam Baker, and the Bears go on to thump the Atlanta Falcons. Final score, 30-12. When we continue here on NFL Primetime, the debut of Cam Cameron, historically impressive. However, Kevin Cobb and company got what they wanted, the win. Kerry Collins, well, just how is this season going to play out for the Colts? If week 1's an indication, it ain't fun.
Hi, I'm Mike Yam. Coming up tonight on SportsCenter, complete coverage of all 13 games from a sensational opening Sunday across the NFL. Tony Romo and the Cowboys in New York to take on the Jets. A beatdown in Baltimore as Ray Lewis and the Ravens dismantle the Steelers. How would Philly's dream team look against the Rams? Plus, was Cam Newton's record-breaking debut enough for a Panthers win? It's all covered up tonight on SportsCenter on ESPN America.
When you're used to facing pitches in the 90s, it seems like a changeup should be easy to hit.
But one reason off-speed pitches are still a challenge for even the best hitters is disguise.
A changeup only works if the batter mistakes it for a fastball. Pitchers disguise the off-speed pitch by maintaining the same arm angle and release point as a fastball, and even throwing with the same arm speed. One clue a batter tries to pick up is the pitcher's grip on the ball. Off-speed pitches are executed with variations, like holding the ball closer to the palm, using 3 fingers instead of 2, or forming a circle with the index finger and thumb.
For ESPN Sports Science, I'm John Brinkus.
The AFC wildcard Denver Broncos climbed to the top to pull off an upset over the favored Green Bay Packers.
Second and goal from the 1. Elway.
Denver running back Terrell Davis rushed for 157 yards and 3 touchdowns to become the MVP. With this victory, the Broncos ended the NFC's 13-season Super Bowl winning streak. In 1999, no one was surprised to see John Elway and his Broncos back in the big game as they took on the Atlanta Falcons in Super Bowl 33.
Down deep the middle of the field. Rod Smith got it.
Elway completed 18 of 29 passes for 336 yards and a touchdown and ran for another score himself to clinch back-to-back Super Bowls for the Denver Broncos.
Super Bowl 33 is history. The Denver Broncos are world champions once again.
You are watching NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
Well, here we go. The NFL debut of Cam Newton, #1 overall pick for the Carolina Panthers, taking on the Arizona Cardinals. And let's just say Cam had himself an impressive afternoon. First quarter, the Panthers are trailing 7-0. It's 3rd and 7. So if it's 3rd and 7 and they're down by 7, you put those two together, you get 77. And that's the yardage on this toss.
Ooh, that's
his first
good,
touchdown
baby.
pass. Thank you to Steve Smith. And just like that, the Panthers tie the game. 13 seconds left to play in the first half. Cam one more time to Smith one more time, a more pedestrian 26 yards, but Smith 8 grabs, 178 yards, and the Panthers up 14-7. Third quarter, Panthers second and goal at the 1. Catch a Cam over the pile, and the Panthers go up on the road 21-14. This is also the debut of Kevin Cobb with the Arizona Cardinals. Third quarter, they're down 14-7, and Jeff King used to play for the Carolina Panthers. Cobb, a pretty good athlete in his own right there to get away from that pressure, and apparently an invisibility cloak was on Jeff King. No one within 10 yards. That tied the game up at 14. Fourth quarter, Cardinals down 21-14, 3rd and 7. This is the guy Arizona has to have make big plays for him. Early Doucette. And early Doucette is gone. 70 yards for the score. Just like that, it is tied up at 21. Cam Newton was their number 1 pick in Carolina. Patrick Peterson of the Baton Rouge Petersons was the number 1 pick for the Arizona Cardinals. And that's why, not just the corner play, he ran that like a running back.
Look at how strong he is running through contact, but wait, you're not in the end zone yet, big fellow. Get it there.
Get in. 89 yards. That put Arizona up 28-21. Okay, that gave Cam enough time. Under 2 minutes to play. First down at the 11-yard line, and intended for Mike Goodson. No. 2nd and 10. Looking for Legadou Nene in the back.
And they tried to jerk route.
Yeah.
Middle of the field.
Didn't quite get there.
He didn't look like a jerk.
3rd and 10. That's Legadou Nene again. So it comes down to this. 4th and 10. Last chance for Cam. He's had an unbelievable game. Greg Olsen catches it, but he's out of bounds. But wait a minute. You see the flag. Offsides. Joey Porter beat the snap. So you're getting one more chance. A 5th play inside the 11, and this one is caught, but Paris Lennon 1 yard short, reminiscent perhaps of Kevin Dyson tackled 1 yard short in the Super Bowl between the Titans and the Rams. Cam Newton and company fall 28-21. By the numbers, the most impressive rookie season-opening passing performance we've ever seen in NFL history. 422 yards for Cam Newton. What did the Carolina Panthers do that helped him be so successful?
But, this is what preseason is for. When you saw Cam Newton, he didn't get better during the preseason, but they're experimenting with Cam Newton. They did a lot of things with Cam Newton so that they could devise a game plan to help him be successful on opening day. That was the goal. And I think you saw it very early, especially on his first throw. You could see the kind of formations that they were going to create. Number one, so they could dictate matchups and not put a burden on him as far as reading a bunch of things. 2 tight ends, 2 backs. Okay, well, I'm going to bring a bunch of people in the box based on that formation. I still have to cover from the Cardinals all the field. I don't know if these guys are going to come out. And I got one-on-one at the top of the screen. I got Steve Smith. I like that guy. I don't care who's covering him out there. Now when we snap the ball, I'm going to do run action. My tight ends are going to stay in and block. I'm going to keep everybody looking at the backfield. That's going to help my one-on-one on the outside. I can get Cam Newton's feet set. He can throw the football. We complete the ball early. That is the first thing that the Carolina Panthers did to really create success for Cam Newton. And then they kind of built on that through the course of the game. There was 2 things that stood out to me that Cam Newton did very well. Is one, even the guys were covered, he gave them an opportunity to make a play. And the players or the other guys like tight ends did a great job. Even though there was 2 guys out, they got open for him. So that's a great start. It's one game. They still didn't win this game. They didn't win the game, which is still what you're trying to do. But great improvement from the preseason.
Remarkable start for Cam Newton. I mean, you look at the numbers, and as you said, Mel, giving guys an opportunity to go make a play on the football, that's the most important thing. But the other thing that you're going to get from this, that team now will believe in Cam Newton. Let's face it, you have guys on that team, some veteran players that want to win. Steve Smith being one of them, Jeremy Shockey being another. And now all of a sudden, after seeing what Cam Newton can do, there's going to be a confidence in that locker room that even though you're starting a rookie quarterback, who a lot of people question how he would be able to pass the football, now they're going to believe they can win football games if he can produce like that and give them an opportunity to go up and get the football the way he let them go do it.
And the way he did it, I mean, he only completed 42% of his passes in the preseason. There was much more accuracy we saw in this season opening loss. By the way, the player that used to have the record for the most rookie passing yards in a season opening start was Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, pretty good and not in attendance Sunday in Houston as the Colts began life after Peyton with Kerry Collins and their opening drive on 2nd and 9. Hello, Mario Williams. How do you like the switch to the 3-4? Just fine, thank you very much, as Kerry Collins goes down. Later in the first quarter, it's 3-0, and Collins, sacked by Antonio Smith, loses the ball, and Smith recovers it. This is the problem. Peyton is always going to get rid of the ball so quickly.
Yeah, not only that, it's also a problem when you bring in a guy 2 weeks ago and expect him to have ball security in the pocket.
Yeah, it's now 10-0, and Collins can't handle the snap, and J.J. Watt, something what you're talking about, comes up with it. Again, one of those problems you're going to have with a guy that's in there.
Quarterback-center exchange should be a given, but again, you bring a guy off the street who was retired, you're going to have these type of problems.
16 to 31, 197 yards and a touchdown for Kerry Collins. Now, Arian Foster did not play. The anti-awesome white stuff prevented that, but they've got other options like Ben Tate, Merrill Hodge.
Well, both these backs did a beautiful job. The Texans have worked so hard to get this running game down. From the offensive line perspective, that is really where it starts, and these backs understand, you know what, trust my instincts and what we're trying to do. When I make a cut, I got to go, and I got to go with all I got.
116 yards for Tate as he continues to just pound the ball, also had a touchdown. This game was over quickly. It was the worst opening loss, really, that the Colts have ever had in the back of the end zone. Andre Johnson tipped and still able to make the catch. That's why he's Andre Johnson. It was a huge win for the Texans, a blowout, 34-7. Meanwhile, the AFC West champs opened up at home, taking on the Buffalo Bills, and Merrill Hodge had this to say about what you might expect from the Buffalo Bills. This was before the season on September 7th. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been very good in preseason. He is a very underrated player. Merrill Hodge, you might just be a very underrated analyst. Because let's see how Ryan and company. There we go. First quarter, no score. Fitzpatrick out of the gun to Scott Chandler, the 6'7" tight end. Bills up 7-0.
Tweet about Chandler, Hodge. Where were you on that?
Yeah, well, how come you missed that?
That's late.
Watch Stevie Johnson.
Next week.
Not so serious, just so amazing. And nice that Brandon Flowers is there as a pillow for him to fall on with the touchdown. And then Chandler again. How do you leave a guy 6'7" that wide open? It never was good for Kansas City.
But they did it.
Yeah, Donald Jones there for the touchdown. Eric Berry, their safety, torn ACL, out for the year, 41-7. Worst ever home loss to start the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. Rex Grossman, he won the starting job. Did he win the admiration of many with the way he performed against the Giants? And was this an elimination game week 1 for the Lions and the Bucks, both with high aspirations for the postseason?
Sunday Night Football live on ESPN America kicks off with our Week 2 triple header. First, Jay Cutler and the Bears head to the Big Easy to tackle Drew Brees and the Saints. Then it's an AFC showdown as the Chargers touch down in New England to face the Patriots. And Michael Vick leads the Eagles back to Atlanta to battle the Falcons. It all starts at 1600 CET with Sunday NFL Countdown. Sunday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
From exotic escapes to spa indulgences to golf getaways, you'll discover your perfect retreat at Starwood Hotels and Resorts' brand new website, spg.com/resorts. Book your dream vacation at one of more than 200 amazing resorts and take advantage of our best rate guarantee. More luxury, more destinations. spg.com/resorts.
4-0, the Phillies. The story, Roy Halladay. And history on the line here in Philadelphia. All zeros. Halladay is one strike away. The 0-2. A bouncer. Ruiz. In time! Roy Halladay has thrown a no-hitter. The ace of aces, Roy Halladay, postseason no-hitter. The first since 1956, Don Larson of the Yankees. He's got company down.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls, and we begin today with the bikini. I'll alert the media on that.
You saying baseball players can't be tough guys? $20 if you get it tattooed.
Okay, Wilmot.
He's gonna potentially have a show where he has a badge.
Boom.
Hey,
Shut up with that.
maybe he's a late bloomer.
This is horrific.
We agree.
He's a giant.
I needed a nap.
One word.
Magnifique.
I'm thinking,
My quarterback.
just stop talking.
What are these players thinking? You didn't call that.
But you know what we do have?
Pardon the interruption. Weekdays on ESPN America.
All right, Bucks-Lions. Everybody's talking about perhaps the Lions being the surprise team this year. The Bucks won 10 last year. Matthew Stafford, if he can only stay healthy, he can do good things. That one's, well, it's a little high. And Aqib Talib there at high steps into the end zone, 28 yards, and the Bucks lead 10-3. Second quarter, Lions down 10-6. It's a 4th and 3, and they call this. That's aggressive play calling, and Calvin Johnson has faith in his coach to make it pay off.
You look at the arm strength of Matthew Stafford, too. Not able to step into the throw, but with a flick of the wrist, able to get it out there just enough over Aqib Talib to Calvin Johnson.
So just like that, the Lions lead 13-10. They are sending statements in Detroit. We're going to be good. Stafford to Tony Scheffler, the tight end on the roll. This is a great catch and a great throw for a touchdown. And then this is not so great. Scheffler apparently is D'Artagnan of the Four Musketeers, or just never to be seen on Dancing with the Stars. Then Stafford to Megatron. Notice how he held it all the way through the catch this time, unlike week 1 a year ago?
I still have it.
Yeah, I have it. I still have it. It would be reviewed. I still have possession of the football. Lions up 27-13, but we've seen Josh Freeman lead so many fourth quarter comebacks. Fourth quarter, a $1:40 left. Mike Williams, very much the equal of anything we saw from Megatron.
No question. Just the control once you got the ball and to get the toes down.
So that cut it.
Thing of beauty.
Cut it to a one-possession game. Got to try the onside kick, all right? Here's Kanan with the onside kick. Did I mention Calvin Johnson?
Oh, my.
Oh, climbing the ladder to seal it. And the Lions take down the Bucks 27-20. All right, Giants, Redskins. Eli Manning was a turnover machine in 2010. 25 interceptions, 5 fumbles, trying to avoid that this year. Third quarter, Giants ball, 3rd and 11, tied at 14. The rookie, Ryan Kerrigan, that is a great play and body control on a pick 6 in your first ever NFL game. Great athletic ability.
Great eye-hand coordination. The instincts, too, to realize what's happening and get up and knock that ball down as well.
All right, Redskins up 21-14 later in the third, and here comes pressure, and Manning will stumble down. Sack there, 37 seconds left in the third quarter. Manning, play action, trying to get something going, and let's meet at the quarterback, shall we? Tough day for Manning, 18-32, the interception, sacked a bunch of times. The same cannot be said for Rex Grossman. Tim, look at that throw to Anthony Armstrong.
That's the primetime dime. Look at this throw. Beautifully placed. Aaron Ross with his back turned. This isn't a jump ball fade. This is a beautifully, perfectly thrown fade by Rex Grossman.
Your picture there looks much better than the head of Trent Dilfer.
I second that.
There you go. Grossman, this time to Fred Davis, the big tight end over the middle. Nice play. And then in the fourth quarter on 3rd and goal, Grossman again showing accuracy and poise in the pocket. Come on that throw.
That's a big-time throw, too. Look at that's a laser.
Laser.
You cannot be late on that throw.
Laser. Grossman, 305 yards, and the Redskins double up the Giants, 28-14. We did this all last season, and we want to be consistent. So we're doing it again. Westbound and down for the NFC West. The Seahawks in San Francisco to take on the Niners. Jim Harbaugh making his head coaching debut for the game. Alex Smith, let's play catch. 17 seconds to go in the first half, 49ers 1st and goal, and Alex, get in there, Alex. Not bad. Oh, I love you, coach. I love you, QB. 16-0 Niners at the break. Fourth quarter, it's now 19-17. Ted Ginn Jr. You know what? We've seen him do this before, but that is just afterburners. Gone. 102 yards on the touchdown. Niners go up 26-17. Not too much longer later, it's a punt return for Ted Ginn Jr. I think he's graduated to senior status. Those two returns 59 seconds apart, and the Niners win at home 33-17. All right, what about the Titans and the Jags? Mike Munchak making his head coaching debut for Tennessee.
Back up.
Get back. You need to get back, coach.
Back up.
Maurice Jones-Drew.
Here he comes.
A lot of people take him first in their fantasy. And this is why.
Because he's downhill, and we're going to have a seal of approval. When you look at a seal, you got to start off with a seal. So you get the seal here, the kick back there, which is going to get the seal there, and you have what we call the Grand Canyon as we come rolling in there. MJD fantasy people everywhere loving it.
21 yards on the score. As for Luke McCown, obviously the starting quarterback with David Garrard there, a little play fake. And Garrard can't, well, Garrard can do this too, and McCown thinks he's got it. Makes the
first down, yes!
Yes! But after the break, no, not. Fourth down, yes! As for Chris Johnson, long holdout, didn't play much. had a interesting day. He had 4 carries for 3 yards in the first half.
Really, Tennessee not on the field long enough to make him a big part of what they were doing. Then they found themselves down and throwing the football. Certainly not what Chris Johnson was looking forward to. 9
rushes, 24 yards. Fourth quarter, Titans down 16-7, 3rd and goal. Oh, is that Matthew Hasselbeck?
That is.
There you go to Kenny Britt. Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead, enjoy it. Family moment.
That's a nice job. It's actually a great job by Kenny Britt. Ball control, big strong hands up over the defender, and then able to tap the toes for the touchdown.
NFL primetime, where we bring siblings together. That made it 16-14. Now, after some questionable play calling, which allowed the Titans to have one last shot, Matthew, I'll take this one. Not on the same page, and the Jags hold on to win it 16-14. When we continue on primetime, the very best of week 1. Who did we think stood out among the rest?
NFL Primetime is presented by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
It is the new season, and we are set for football. And here we go. He's going to air one out down the middle, and he's caught.
The NFL all season long, live on ESPN America.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Next.
It is more about them than it is about the team. Cannot play with them.
Next.
Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Mike, why are you in such a bad mood?
What do you care?
I want winners.
You were 2-7, you'd be in a bad mood too.
If you want to crown them, then crown them.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
When I saw the rundown today, I knew it was going to be a good day.
Feeling good about this. We're all like kids.
It's
almost salon perfect.
Ooh.
Got a little crazy here. We've become the most violent show on television. I am unaffected by this.
Merry Christmas! I'm gonna need some pep. Holy moly!
Top 10 every week. Oh, that was a good day.
Don't miss Sports Nation, weekdays on ESPN America.
All right, don't forget NFL 32, brand new show for you here on the ESPN family of networks. Weekdays, 6 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Susie and Mort taking you through everything you need to know. It debuts on Tuesday, ESPN's NFL 32.
Who's Hungry is brought to you by Snickers. If you like peanut butter and chocolate, you'll love peanut butter and Snickers. Try Snickers Peanut Butter Square.
And the question then becomes, who's hungry for glory? Who's hungry for the honors and the awards of the best of the best? Tim, where are you going?
I'm starting with Cam Newton. Are you kidding me? 422 passing yards in his debut. This guy's known as a runner, not as a passer. There's no doubt Cam Newton hungry week 1.
Merrill, what about you?
Well, I'm going to go with actually a team that won. I'm going to take the entire Buffalo Bills team.
Wow, that was a shot. That was a shot.
It's about
That's my
individual
team. I just want to know.
okay?
The Bills. That's who's hungry.
That's a lot of Snickers bars, especially when Marcel Darius. I'm going with Matthew Stafford. What have you always said? Keep him healthy, you got a chance. He was laser-like with his precision. Trent Dilfer might even say surgical. They did win.
They won.
He limped. That's just a cramp.
He's hurt.
Don't worry about it. That's just
That doesn't
a cramp.
count.
Hey, don't go anywhere. NFL Live coming up next. Welcome. Who's the guy that used to do that?
He was bald.
Yeah.